Fight Joy Joyan Season 2. I'm your host, Joyan Chan, and every Wednesday we bring you inspiring stories, powerful message, and fun conversations with me and my special guests and friends, and it's my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. This podcast is for you if you're looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. Now let's dive into today's episode and get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Hi to all my entrepreneurs who are driven and single. If you are tired of swiping through profiles of people who just don't get it, try millionairematch.com. With over 5 million users, you are destined to meet someone who will challenge you intellectually, match your ambition, and love you for you. Join now at millionairematch.com. We are halfway through the year. First, if you're listening, I want to give you a huge hug. Thank you so much for sticking around and being here with me. July 3rd also marked the 3rd anniversary of this podcast. So this is a very special episode to celebrate, and this very special episode is my gift to you for being a Find Joy with Joyan listener. But can you believe it's already mid-year? I thought 1st January was just yesterday. And as I reflected on the first half of the year and, planned for the second half, my fitness goal, my personal goals, and also my business goals, which I would encourage all of you to do if you have not already done something similar. And also, I wanted to share some exciting updates with you about what I'm launching in the second half of 2024. This is what I call public accountability. The projects I'm working on and how I can better serve you going forward. Also, I want to share some behind the scenes, behind the mic live updates. So if you have been following my story on IG, you will know that I'm writing my first book. Yep, it's pretty scary, it's quite scary. I first had the idea and inspiration to write my book in 2023. Last year, I was manifesting a place near the beach where I could move over and stay there for 3 months and just focus on writing my book. Well, it didn't happen, right? But I managed to write the foreword. Then I stopped. I stopped because I got busy, life got in the way, blah, blah, blah. My excuses. Last month, in early June, I had the honor of being on Sylvia Wilson's podcast. Some of you might remember her. She was on this podcast. I interviewed her about 2 years ago on Fight Joy Joyan. And one day, she reached out to me on LinkedIn, telling me she had just launched her podcast and would love for me to be on her show. She wanted me to share my story and my journey to Everest Base Camp with her audience. And I said yes immediately because I love her so much. She is like my soul sister now. And while we were on her podcast, she said something to me which I knew I needed to hear. She said, "You should write a book, because many people who love to read would love to read your story." She said that out loud on the podcast at the very beginning. And I thought, wow, she didn't even know I have this dream of becoming an author. I had never told her. And there she was telling me to write my book. So I told her on the podcast, it was a conversation. I told her I was writing my book. I told her about this goal I have. And she said she was going to send me a book where first-time authors tell their stories of publishing their first book. And that got me right back on track, picking up where I left off. So every day at around 9 to 10 p.m., I would dedicate time to writing my book before I sleep. And while I'm recording this episode for you, I'm already finished writing 5 chapters. Well, they are rough first draft. But the important thing is, I've started writing again and committed to publishing my book. Sharing all the stories I have never told anyone in my life. Because a story not shared does not serve. So stay tuned. My goal is to finish writing at least the first draft by the end of the year. And with that, some encouragement and support will be helpful, especially from those of you who are best-selling authors, and I know some of you are in my audience listening to this. And also, I know it sounds crazy, but I am going to launch my 3rd podcast on podcasting. Yep, you heard it right, a podcast about podcasting. As you know, I've been podcasting for 3 years and counting. And currently I have 2 running podcasts, this very podcast you are listening to, and my second podcast, The Show Up Show. which I will be ending very soon so I can start my third podcast. And I have been blessed to help many others launch their dream podcast. So I decided to go all in and start a new podcast to share all the insider tips, my podcasting secrets, the life of being a podcaster, my client success stories, and interview other successful podcasters. So get excited for the launch and join me for the launch. I'm gonna do something for the launch. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, join my email newsletter, and be a part of my Facebook community so you don't miss any important updates. Now, there is a quick update on what I'm working on, what I'm launching, and I have more exciting news I want to share with you and will be sharing with you in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But this episode isn't about me. This is about you. You see, we'll only have 6 months left in a year. You can either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. To truly thrive in life, to set meaningful goals and achieve them, we need 3 things. You want to write this down: clarity, growth, and action. So let's talk about that. First, clarity. Clarity is power. If you are feeling lost, uncertain, confused, or even unmotivated, it's because you lack clarity. You don't know what you want. You don't know what to do. You don't know who you are. And I have been in this place over and over again. I know exactly how it feels. It's a very disempowering feeling and a stage that we all go through in life. So don't feel ashamed if you're feeling lost because you compare yourself with others you see on social media. You know, they seem to have everything figured out and you are here, sitting here, battling with the feeling of, what am I even doing with my life? Does this feel familiar to any of you? You can raise your hand even though I can't see it. This is why clarity is so powerful. And it's the first step to achieving your goal. It's the first step to becoming the best version of yourself. It's the first step to winning at life. It's the first step to joy and happiness. When you have clarity, you know what you want, you know who you are, and you know what to do. Every single day, you can't wait to jump out of bed because you have something that pulls you forward. You don't have to push through. You have confidence and courage to show up every day and make it your best day yet. Whether you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, you're working a 9-to-5 job, a student, or stay-at-home mom, we all need clarity. With clarity comes confidence and courage. So how do we create greater clarity in our lives? These are the questions you can ask yourself. What is it that you really want? What do you really, really want? So often, we focus on the things that we don't want. And guess what? We get more of them. Because where focus goes, energy flows. And everything is energy. You know that. If you have been listening to this podcast long enough, you know we are all vibrational beings. So in 6 months, think about it. In 6 months, you can achieve a lot. 6 months can change your life forever. You just have to know what you really want. You can start a business, you can lose weight, you can travel to your favorite country, you can quit your job, you can start a side hustle, you can read more books, you can write a book, you can start a podcast. You can do so many things in 6 months. Time will pass anyway. It's what you do with your time that matters. So my friend, what are you doing with your limited, precious time? What do you want to accomplish by the end of the year? I want you to imagine it's December 31st, 2024. Who is the person you have become? What are the things you have accomplished? When you look back on the year, what would be your proudest moment and greatest victory? What would you be? What would you be doing? How would you celebrate it? Who would you celebrate it with? Paint those pictures in your mind vividly. That is how you create clarity. The thing is, deep inside your heart, you know what you want. If only you allow yourself to dream, to truly live, not just getting by. So ask yourself the question, what do I really want? What do I really, really want? Not for anyone else, Not for my spouse, not for my parents, not for my kids, not for my partner, but what do I want? Because you truly can be, do, and have anything you want. So your first step and your first exercise is to write down everything you want to do, create, and achieve by the end of the year, personally and professionally. It also can be in 4 different areas: health, finance, relationship, and career. It's all up to you. But most importantly, write them down on a piece of paper. Write in your journal. What would the best year of your life look like? What will put the greatest smile on your face if you achieve it? What will make you feel most alive? You need to know where you're going, and you need something to look forward to and work towards. And when you have that clarity, then we can move on to the next step. Now, you are where you are right now. And you need to be real with yourself. Your health, relationship, finance, your career, your business. Where are you right now? Just like driving a car, you need to set the GPS, right? Your starting point and your destination. So we have already set the destination, December 31st. But how do you get there? There is a gap between, right? A distance between, if you will, your destination and where you are right now. And this is where personal growth comes in. To close the gap, you need to grow. You need to work on yourself. You need to build yourself up. And this can be through skills, experiences, stepping outside of the comfort zone, mentorship, etc. And I'm a big personal development junkie. When I feel stuck, when I feel stagnant, I know I need change. I need growth. I need a breakthrough. And this is my definition of a breakthrough. It's to break free from my own limitations. It's to free myself from my own cage. So once I've accepted that I feel stuck, I'm stagnant, I own it, I know it doesn't serve me, and I work through that with love, self-compassion, and intention. With that, I know growth is near and my personal breakthrough is just around the corner. So all the steps that I'm taking you through or sharing with you are exactly what I've done when I was doing my self-reflection, setting goals and planning for the second half of 2024. And I can tell you my secret. The fastest way to grow yourself and develop yourself. The fastest way to have breakthrough. But before I tell you, do you want to know? Do you actually want to grow and develop yourself? Because you have to want it. You have to want it for yourself. I want it so badly for you. I want it so badly for all of you, for all my followers, all my members inside my community, all my clients, all my family and my friends. I want everyone in my life, everyone I know, everyone who is following me. I want everyone to grow and become limitless and become the best version of themselves. But what can I do? Yes, I'm doing podcasts, I'm creating content, I'm coaching clients, I'm building my business to do my best to serve you. But if you don't want it for yourself, there's nothing I can do. Nothing. I can't force you to grow. I can't force you to do anything. And it's really frustrating, but I still love them, right? People tell me all the time, I don't have the strength, I don't have the confidence, I don't have time, I don't have money. I'm not like you. I'm too shy, I'm too old, I'm too young. Just not now. I'm not ready yet. Do any of this sound familiar? But can I tell you the truth? The truth is, we are not getting any younger. We are not getting any more time. We don't even know how much time we have. And you will never be ready. Never, ever. So do you want to know the fastest way to grow and develop yourself and break through and overcome all your limiting beliefs? Do you want to know? Yes? Can I get a yes? I hope you are saying yes. Go for a personal development program. Okay, what is a personal development program? In my definition, It's a focused period of time in a closed environment, normally 4 to 5 days or 3 days in my own experience, when you are surrounded by a group of like-minded people in a community to work on yourself, to be uncomfortable, to challenge your beliefs, to question your beliefs, to really look at your life, to assess yourself. It's usually very intense and very vulnerable to be putting yourself through the whole process. You will cry, you will scream, you will break down in order to break through. Of course, there are many other ways, like listening to podcasts like this, reading books, getting a coach online. These are what you do every single day to continue to grow. Personal development is a lifelong process. Yes, you don't grow and develop yourself in 4 days and then you are done, you're perfect. No. But it will put you on a springboard. You will experience tremendous growth and transformation, and your life will change just like that. So I'm also looking for personal development program, and I've been asking around. I've been asking my friends for recommendation, but I can share with you what I've done in the past. My first personal development program was Tony Robbins' UPW, Unleash the Power Within. I did both the in-person and virtual UPW later in the pandemic when I became a stay-at-home entrepreneur. I also did Asia Works. It was by far the most powerful personal development program I have attended so far. I did a basic and advanced training, and then I did Vipassana, the 10-day silent meditation retreat. I also did Millionaire Mindset Intensive, both in person and virtual, just to name a few. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I wouldn't be here talking to you if I had not attended or completed these powerful, truly life-changing and transformational programs. But I hear some of you saying, I don't have time or I don't have money. And let me tell you, most of the programs that I did and that I mentioned, I did them when I was still in my 9 to 6 jobs. Not even 9 to 5, 9 to 6, or even longer. Yes, so don't tell me you don't have time. They usually happen on Friday night, after work, and on the weekends. These programs are for people who have a 9 to 5 jobs, or 9 to 6, like me. And if you don't have money, I also didn't have money. I remember I borrowed money from a friend to go for Asia Works advanced training. It was about $2,500, and I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money to pay for the program. But it didn't stop me. Because if it's something that you really want for yourself, you will do whatever it takes. You will find a way, not an excuse. And if you really, really, really don't have money, Vipassana is totally free. So what else can you tell me? So what am I really trying to say is, you can go for any programs you like. I'm not selling you any of these programs. I'm not, selling you anything. I'm just sharing because I want you to experience transformation. I'm calling you out. I want more for you. But again, you have to want it for yourself. So this is your next step. Once you have the clarity, you need to work on yourself to close the gap, to invest in yourself, to build yourself out, to become the person you need to be to get there. You need to overcome everything that is standing in the way, and you need to learn more about yourself, especially your belief system. What serves you and what doesn't serve you. You need to take your personal power back. It is time. And that, the fastest way, at least from my own experiences, is to attend a personal development program. Finally, you need to take action. Yes, you could be sitting here listening to me all day and every day. But is it gonna change your life? I doubt so. You need to do something. You need to take action. Just like when I wanted to write my first book. Yes, I established a goal. I've written down in my journal. I knew what I wanted. And I had support from friends like Sylvia. I attended classes on how to write a best-selling book, and I learned from the best. People who are multi-best-selling authors, Amazon best-selling authors, New York Times best-selling authors. But if I don't sit down and actually write my book, set aside time, write the chapters, get uncomfortable, cry a little, and type out those words, it will always be a goal. It will always be a dream. So you have to actually do it. Take the action, do the work, and put in the effort. So go back to the first step. You have already written down what you want in all areas of your life. Okay, what do you need to do to make them happen? I want you to look at your list right now. I want you right next to it, write down the action that you need to take. The action you must take. Whether it's signing up for the gym membership, buying the mentorship program or coaching program, or to learn how to start a business or start a podcast, or if you want to be in a relationship, go sign up for a dating app, or get out of the house and attend some social events in your city. Whatever, just take action. Do something that will move you closer to your goal. Take the very first step. The first scary, uncomfortable step. You will never be ready. Let me say that again. You will never be ready. Never, ever. Ever. So pause me here. I'm serious. Pause me here. Take 5 to 10 minutes to write down all the actions. The first step that you must take, that you are committed to taking right now. Do it now while I'm still here. Not after you have finished listening to this podcast of me screaming at the top of my lungs. I want to hold you accountable. I want you to succeed. And there's only so much I can do for you to help you. So pause me here and come back when you're ready. Alright, so now you know what to do next. Commit to it. And trust me, when you start taking action, you don't need motivation. Yes, you don't need motivation to do anything. If I only did things when I felt motivated, I would never have created my podcast. I would never be screaming at you right now. So in order to keep going, to stay consistent, to achieve your goals, people always ask me, how do I stay consistent? You don't need motivation, you need momentum. So how do you get into momentum? You take action, day after day, week after week, month after month, one step at a time. If you go to the gym every day, you don't need motivation anymore. You know you don't need motivation anymore. You just put on your workout clothes and you show up. When you publish a podcast episode every week, like me, you don't negotiate with yourself anymore. You just do it. When you listen to this podcast or any other podcast every day during your morning walk or commute to work, you just plug in your earpiece without thinking twice. It becomes a habit. It becomes who you are. It becomes part of your identity when you take consistent action. And I think I've said enough in this episode. I hope you feel my heart and my soul and my desire to serve you. This is what they call tough love. Sometimes all we need is some tough love. We all need someone to come and wake us up, to shake off the borders that we have been staying in for so long, for way too long, until it becomes our comfort zone. Right? But are you truly comfortable staying where you are? Or do you know there's more? Do you want more? Because if I don't come here and shake you up, life will. Changes are painful. Growth is uncomfortable. But just like the butterfly, it's part of the evolution. It's part of the journey of becoming who you truly are and who you truly can be. You know, before we wrap this up, I just want to say how grateful I am to be able to share this space with you. You know, many people are overwhelmed by technology, or it's one of the things that holds them back. I know because I help people start and launch their podcast, and this is one of the things that, you know, most people are struggling with, the technology. However, I'm truly grateful to have been born in an era where modern technology is accessible to everyone. I want you to think about it for a minute. Let's think about it. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can start a podcast today. Yes. Any one of you. This technology, which I have nothing to do with, has allowed me to create a platform and opportunities for myself. Just by clicking a few buttons, I can reach the world. I can reach all of you. Whenever you are in the world, I get to share my stories, my message to help you, and also help me become the woman I have always dreamed of becoming. But I will always remember my humble beginnings. You know my story, right? while you only know part of my story. So the book that I'm writing right now will tell my whole life story. I came from nothing, and how I become the person I am today is a story that I've never told. Anyway, so before I started a podcast, no one knew who I was. I didn't even know who I was. I was completely lost and suicidal, depressed. Just when COVID-19 hit, podcasting saved me. It saved my life, period. And this is my why. This is why I'm so passionate about podcasting. This is why I'm so passionate about helping others to start a podcast, because I know how it will change their life and how it can change yours. And doing this for 3 years and counting and starting my 3rd podcast, I just love every single second of it. I just love the journey. So my story is a testament that you truly can be, do, and have anything you want. To me, that is the answer to life. I believe you deserve to live your purpose and become the person you have always dreamed of becoming. So let's grow together, let's expand together, and let's succeed together in the second half of 2024 and beyond. Again, thanks for listening today. Thanks for sharing this space with me. And please share this episode with your friends and family or anyone you know who needs to hear this today. This is my gift for you, and it will be your gift to them. And don't just listen passively. You have some work to do, right? Go do the exercise. Don't make any excuses any longer. Go make it happen. Show up. The world needs you, and you need you. Thank you again for tuning into Find Joy Joyan podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag findjoyjoyan_podcast so I know you are listening. And leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.